The fundamentals of weight management. In this lecture today, I'm going to explain to you how we manage to lose and gain weight on a physiological level. So let's begin with the very basics. The one thing that we know for 100% is accurate and true. Calories in versus calories out. This is a balance of energy. And this is something that we know is undeniably true in science. It's the one thing that we've been proven and that cannot be denied. The laws of thermodynamics. So if we were to have a set of scales and we applied everything equal on both sides, then everything would remain equal. And this is the same with weight management as well. Everything that we do in life, whether that's breathing, pumping blood around our body, walking to work, thinking, chewing our food, digesting our food, training in the gym, everything that we do has an energy value, an energy expenditure. And we measure energy in terms of calories. So you've probably heard of this before, calories in versus calories out. So everything that we eat and consume also has a calorie value or a caloric value. So whether we're eating our rice and our chicken or our broccoli or drinking a beer, everything that you put into your mouth has an energy value, as well as everything that we do, everything that we put out has an energy value. And this is the energy balance that determines weight management. So our body is like a cylinder of mass. The more we put out or the more we put in will determine how our weight goes. So for example, I know that my daily calorie expenditure is around about 3,000 calories. So if I expend 3,000 calories, but I eat or consume 3,000 calories, my body weight will stay the same. If I expend 3,000 calories a day, but I consume 2,500 calories a day, my body weight will go down because I'm eating less than I need. So my body needs to take the deficit of what I'm short from its stored energy sources. So it will then use energy that it has stored to make up this deficit. So I will become 500 calories lighter. If I require 3,000 calories of energy, but I consume 3,500 calories of energy, again, this leaves a surplus, so the extra gets stored and my body weight will go up. So let's move on. Adapting to the average. So let's think about the energy equation. And this is always equal, but if you were to consume, if you need 3,000, but you consume 3,500 for one day, your body weight isn't going to adjust or adapt to that because your body will adapt to what it perceives to be the average. And it's the same. If you go one day and you burn 10,000 calories by going for a massive walk, you're not going to drop 5 kilos. You will drop weight, but your body will adapt to the average. So it won't just make massive fluctuations day to day. Your body wants to survive. And if it was to do this, you can imagine what would happen to the human species on an evolutionary level. We'd be in all sorts of trouble. One day we can't eat, one day we eat too much. Your body won't fluctuate, it will adapt to what the average is. So if you do consume more than normal on one day, what your body will do is you will look to utilize that. You'll either poop more, you'll produce more body heat, you'll sweat more, your breath will change, you might urinate more, you might have more energy, you might be subconsciously fidgeting more, blinking more, dealing with that energy. So think about when you go out drinking, if you've ever done that, you might have experienced sweating or people breathing and their breath tastes different or they're moving around more, they're fidgeting more. That's to do with your body adapting to what it perceives to be the average. It's trying to deal with the excess. It only adapts to the average when everything is equal. So calories in versus calorie out is an undeniable law of science. If aliens come down from space and we presented them with the laws of thermodynamics, they would go, yeah, that's 100% correct. And if anybody thinks that weight loss is something other than calories in versus calories out, then they're absolutely stupid. If somebody tells you that weight loss comes down to this magic pill or this magic potion or doing this training or that training, it's absolute rubbish. The only way weight loss or weight gain can occur is by applying the laws of thermodynamics, consuming more or less than you require. So this is why we go training and eat healthy, because this is applying attention to both ends of it, of the calories in versus calories out. Eat less coming in and put more energy out. That creates a deficit. This is how we achieve weight loss. Energy in versus energy out. That is the golden rule, the number one factor in weight management. That's what we need to understand. If we can get our heads around this and apply attention to this, weight loss will occur. There's no doubt about that. And I think this is probably where people get stuck sometimes as well, because they go, calories in versus calories out, nothing else matters, I'll just eat nothing and train loads and it will all come off. We'll get to that more at the end. So only if everything is equal. So calories in versus calories out applies, weight loss will occur, but only if everything is equal. Don't forget what we said here. Your body is in a survival mechanism. The human physiology has survived for millions of years on this planet Earth because we're bloody good at surviving. And if we weren't, we'd be like the dodo, dead, extinct. So the body has to be able to survive. It's a survival mechanism. So if everything isn't equal, this will affect the rate that you can or can't lose weight at. So if you're stressed, you're not sleeping correctly, you have a hormonal balance, low testosterone, low estrogen, high estrogen, poor insulin sensitivity, poor insulin resistance at the cell, all of these things will affect the calories in versus calories out equation because your body's struggling to survive. Something is creating a hurdle in your biology and it's preventing weight loss or weight gain from occurring at the rate that it should. Hurdles can, in extreme cases, completely roadblock all results altogether. I have seen this, and I have seen people in a severe calorie deficit for prolonged periods of time not lose weight because of a hormonal imbalance. But that doesn't mean to say, like we said, that's the average. You can't just diet for one day and expect to lose weight, and if you don't lose weight after 2 days, go, whew, weight loss can't be for me. It clearly isn't for me, it doesn't work for me, I'm gonna give up. Weight loss, there's something wrong with me. No, you haven't stuck to it for long enough because the body adapts to the average. So you need to do it consistently for a prolonged period of time. But if you do that and you're 100% honest with yourself and responsible, and you can put your hand up and say, yes, I did or I didn't, if you don't lose weight or you don't gain weight when you are applying laws of thermodynamics, it may be because you have a serious imbalance, and that would need to be addressed. As we said earlier, the body is a survival mechanism. It's an incredible survival mechanism. It's actually the world's best survival mechanism, the most incredible thing that's ever walked on this planet, ever been on the planet, even better than your iPhone. Believe it or not, human physiology is smarter than your iPhone. It's a survival mechanism. So, like we said earlier, when we were saying calories in versus calories out are the undeniable law of thermodynamics, and people get to this, they see this and go, wow, okay, I'm gonna run to the hills now because I got this. All I need to do is eat less and train more. So I've been overeating, I've gained weight. What I'm gonna do is I'm gonna dump my calories on the floor. I'm just gonna eat like 500 calories a day, and then I'm gonna train like twice a day. And then I'm gonna create this massive calorie deficit, and then I'll just lose weight really, really quickly. And it doesn't happen because the body is a survival mechanism, and it will look at this deficit and go, right, okay, so you're eating 500 calories and you're training twice a day, so we're actually burning like 4,000 calories a day now. Your body isn't going to drop 5 kilos in a day because your body will go, right, okay, what's going to happen is if we continue to stay in this large of a deficit, if we stay in a deficit this big for 3, 4, 5 days, then we're not going to be able to survive, and we're going to have no fat stores left at all, and we're a little bit unsure about what's going to happen there. So yeah, we need to shut down our metabolism and make sure that we don't do that and learn to survive on the 500 calories and 4,000 calorie output. And this is where you see people not get results because they're trying to take things to the extreme. They're trying to do too much. They're trying to create too much of a deficit and force fat loss. But your body is smarter than you. It's a survival mechanism. What we want to do is we want to calculate a small deficit, just a small deficit. So when we're in a deficit, think of your body as a car and you putting in fuel to go somewhere. If you don't have enough fuel, the car won't make it to the destination. It won't achieve fat loss. It won't maintain weight. So if you don't put enough fuel in, you're going to be short. And then what your body will do is it will take what it's short from its stored energy sources. So it will take the little bit that you're short from muscle or fat. But if you're creating a massive deficit, it won't take that as much because it's going to damage our health. It won't be able to survive. So it's going to go, the deficit's too big, shut your metabolism down, we're not going to lose that fat, we're just going to shut everything down and survive on what we've got. If you create a small deficit, your body goes, well, we've got plenty of fat storage, we have some muscle as well. So we can take the little bit that we're short and we'll close this deficit through stored energy. And this is how weight loss occurs. And then we come down. and the next day we create a little bit, and your body goes, yeah, that's a little bit of a deficit, we have plenty of stored energy, we'll take a little bit from fat and muscle, or muscle. If you get everything right, hopefully it's just fat. So think of this as a car. You put almost enough fuel in, but not quite enough to get to its destination. What your car can do then, what your body does, is switch to its secondary energy source, which is stored fuel, and your car will turn it on and just finish the distance. But if you leave too much of a distance, your car will go, yeah, that's too much for us to close. Our stored energy isn't going to get us that far, so we're just going to stay put here. We're not going to move anywhere. And that's what will happen. Don't try to outsmart your biology. Your biology is way smarter than you. We need to nurture and guide our body towards fat loss. We can't try to survive it, shock it into fat loss, or go into extreme cases and just starve the fat off, because it just won't happen. Your body will outsmart you. An analogy that I like to use is, think of your body and its fat stores as your bank and your cash reserves. So if you're writing checks and paying bills all the time and you have money in the bank, you're happy. You're happy to pay those checks and let it go. But if your checks become too big, you start going, hang on, that's a big bill. I'm not 100% comfortable that I want to pay that right now. So I'm just going to check everything. I'm just going to check my bank account, make sure it's okay, and if it is, then I'll pay it. But if you write lots of little checks, your body's happy to continuously pay those, because it knows that everything's fine, there's plenty in reserve, we can pay these little bills. Big bill, it's like, whoa, holy fucking shit, that's too much, that's too big, just stop, whoa, let's just slow down a minute and have a look at this situation. Can we continue to pay bills? If we pay that bill today, can we pay the same bill tomorrow? Because we don't know if the same bill's going to come in tomorrow, it probably will, and then how long are we going to survive? Lots of little bills are nice and easy for your body to deal with. So let's just recap. Calories in versus calories out are an undeniable law of science, something that we can never deny. The laws of thermodynamics are an undeniable law of physics. Your body will adapt to the average. So you can't just diet for one day, and you're not going to gain weight if you just overeat for one day. If you overeat every day for a week, 2 weeks, you're going to gain weight. So don't stress too much about missing a meal or going off the plan. It's not going to ruin everything. If you do it on a continuous basis, that's when your body will start adapting. And it's the same with dieting. You need to be consistent for a prolonged period of time. Weight loss or weight gain will occur, but only if everything is equal. If there's an imbalance somewhere in your biology, that can and will roadblock results completely. It will also slow things down. So if things aren't happening at an optimal rate, it's because we haven't achieved optimal results or optimal health in other areas. And I think this is where a lot of coaches will go wrong as well. They go straight for the kill without balancing biology first. And it just makes results very, very hard, or it'll get the results initially and then they'll come to a stop and then they don't know what to do. This is why we're not talking about this now until week 7, because it gives us plenty of time to work on our foundations, like we did back in week 1, where we looked at stress, sleep, digestion and breathing. Get your foundations right, achieve a good standard of health, make sure that everything is equal, and then apply the laws of thermodynamics. Hurdles, yeah, there's things like insulin sensitivity, down-regulated testosterone, high estrogen, poor sleep quality, poor sleep length. All of these things can be hurdles in your biology that need to be balanced. Your body is a survival mechanism. You can't starve the fat off or trick your body into weight loss. It's way smarter than that. Human physiology has survived for millions of years, and it will continue to survive for millions of years because it's a survival mechanism. We need to support, guide, and nurture our body into fat loss. We can't just chuck it into a massive calorie deficit and think that we're going to just go into a crash diet and drop weight massively for a number of days, because it won't happen. Your body is a survival mechanism and it will learn to survive on lower calories. That's when you start getting health hurdles as well. Everything will become out of balance as it tries to survive and adapt. Your body is like a bank account. Give it small checks every day to write. Don't try to give it one big check, one lump sum, because it ain't going to get paid. Lots of little checks, everyone's happy, everyone can pay those, and everyone will continue to move forward. And that is the fundamentals of weight management. Thank you, and I hope you enjoy your week, and I will speak to you soon.